Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You're listening to our D&D game. I'm your host, the Dungeon Master, and I should point out before we get too far into this, I was not actually the DM for this game session. That was Josh Boggs. He ran this in 1998, and we played a lot of D&D that summer. And he was a huge fan of Castlevania. And if you have that in mind, which that's some of the art I used here, um, everything will make sense, right, from that point of view. So the heroes find out about there's this vampire in the mountains. There's a village nearby. The vampire is going to the village to feed, so the villagers want rid of him. That's where the heroes come in. I feel like this is all pretty obvious, right? Um, so at any rate, they get to the village and um, the villagers basically just tell them that this little section of the map has kind of got like a Ravenloft vibe. Everything here is very Halloween oriented. Um, they talk about there's a werewolf and he has his wolf pack of different kinds of wolves that follow him. So some of them are normal, some of them are dire wolves, so on and so forth. He's a problem in the area. Um, there's skeletons just everywhere. Just so on and so forth, right? Creepy stuff. So, so we're like, okay. And John is, of course, trying to steal everything that's not nailed down. Artie is like, could you not? Artie's a bard, but he's lawful good. And so he's trying to rein John in. John isn't evil. I would say John was more probably at that point like chaotic neutral. He's just doing whatever he wanted to do, you know. Um, he was squirrely. Um, at any rate, though, so they stay the night in the town, and the next day, which there was also a big conversation I should mention. I remember Josh wanted us to go at night, and Artie was like, "Why would we do that? Like that doesn't make any sense. Obviously we're going to go after a vampire in the day." Which, by the way, they're all first level characters at this point. Um, if you know anything about D&D, like this is a problem, right? So yeah, of course, go in the day, and that really annoyed Josh. But so we go in the day. We get to this guy's place, and it's kind of hard to describe. It's just been carved out of the stone that the mountain itself. It's just all one big piece of stone, right? And it's freezing cold up here, super high up. You had to go uphill to get to it. It's higher than the village. You can see the village from here. Um, at any rate, they walk right in the front door, and there are no guards or minions or anything like that. This vampire, by vampire standards, is not the strongest vampire ever, of course. In the DM's mind, he's just right for first level adventurers to fight. Um, so at any rate, they try to stake him. They're very easily you walk in the front, and then carved in here is it's supposed to be like a giant chessboard kind of a thing. And then there are these two, and like there's there's a big set of double doors that's the front door, right? And then you're in the chess room. Opposite of the front door is another big set of double doors that goes into a ballroom. in the chess room, off to the sides, there are stairs that go up and wind around. They're curved, and they go up to a second story. And then up here is a big dining area for guests. At any rate, the heroes are able to find the vampire. He's got this sort of sarcophagus thing that he's sleeping in. They push it to the side, and which is pretty easy for them because they've been uh pushing this giant grain mill wheel thing like their whole life, right? So getting the stone sarcophagus moved is no problem in terms of strength. But they roll to see if they can do this quietly and fail miserably. So he wakes up and attacks them. And so this starts to go really, really bad because the DM, I don't think, well, this is before they invented third edition D&D. Okay. And so I don't think the word challenge rating was used in those old editions. But the DM for sure does not understand this concept. So he doesn't understand why things are going so badly. Um, at any rate, Artie manages to lasso the vampire with this rope. And he rolls something like 3 nat 20s in a row or something. And the situation that they end up with is they hang the vampire upside down by his ankles off of that balcony out there in the chess room, right? There's like a big chandelier overhead. And at any rate, John has a bow and arrow, and Artie reasons that wooden arrows should work just like wooden stakes. And he's like, so stake this thing, shoot it. And John shoots and misses. And one of the other characters like runs over and grabs the arrow and runs back to John. And it's like, shoot. And he rolls a d20 and he rolls like a 5. And they're like, you miss. And it's like, shoot. And he rolls like whatever, a 10, and he misses. It's just shoot, shoot, shoot over and over again. The DM rules that the vampire is helpless in this situation. Which, by the way, spoiler, after this game session, everybody quit. And everybody's told this GM, which, mind you, he's not our usual GM, told him that he didn't know what he was doing at all, right? So if you're listening to this and you think this is stupid, don't worry, the campaign gets better, right? But because this happened, I'm kind of telling you about it. I'm chronicling what we did. All right. So they just keep shooting until eventually John rolls what he needs to and the vampire dies. And so they go up a little bit and level there as soon as they kill him. We split the XP among the party. I think the way the DM ran it was everybody's level 2, and any extra XP you had after you leveled up vanishes. And he wanted to run an entire campaign where they were vampire hunters, and nobody was having it. Everybody tells Josh, we don't want to hunt vampires. Screw this, basically. But they do go back to the town and get their reward, and they stay in the town and rest up. And that's pretty much it. Like I say, I'm trying to keep these videos short. A big part of me wants to get into the next thing. What happens next is Artie gets attacked by a werebear and is infected. Artie becomes a werebear. That's what happens next. But like I said, I'm trying to keep these videos short. I don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to wrap this one up here. I hope that you enjoyed it. If so, hit like. Um, be sure to hit subscribe, leave a comment, ring the bell, all that jazz. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.